This will be our final briefing. Anybody want to sing the Hallelujah chorus on that one, on Idalia? Thanks to everybody who has worked so hard, including all of you, to get us through this storm. Idalia has left Florida at this hour. Luckily, we here in Duval were spared the worst impacts, although power outages, down power lines, and down trees remain a concern, at least on the short term. I know that we have, over the course of this storm, we had 85,000 customers who were at one time without power. Right now, our JEA crews have done an amazing job. 74,000 of those have already been restored. So we have about 11,000 left by my math, and they're working hard to get those restored as we speak. So city crews are also going to respond to the collapse of the Memorial Park balustrade. I'm sure most of you have seen the video of that. We've had problems with that wall before, and that was basically just the wind and wave action going over the top of that knocked that down. That'll need repair. And there's also been some damage to the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Wall, which has also historically had some issues when water gets in there, and so we'll have to repair that as well. Those are really the big things that we're looking at tonight in terms of things that are needing repair, and of course we'll keep an eye on anything else that comes about. We are working tonight to get those who have taken advantage of our 7 shelters throughout the city back to their homes. Those shelters will officially wind down at 7 o'clock. And so that folks in those shelters have been told that they'll close around 7 o'clock. If anybody has any sort of special problem, we'll deal with that. But we feel pretty good about that at this point. Duval County Public Schools are going to remain closed tomorrow because we had them closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're going to have to clean up all those shelters and get them ready for the students to come back in. So the schools will remain closed tomorrow, but classes will resume on Friday. As will our Friday night football games, with a few exceptions, and that's on the DCPS website, okay? So all that information is there. Also, City of Jacksonville buildings will reopen tomorrow, and all personnel have been directed to return to work tomorrow. 630 City is going to remain operational until 11 p.m. tonight. And we'll resume at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're just getting a trickle of calls into 630 City at this point. Thank goodness we have really been very, very fortunate, as you've seen. Not so much our neighbors to the west, and on that front, I want to say that we have deployed 110 of our best over to Madison County. They have a 14-day mission. That's JSO, JFRD, and JEA, and so those folks will be out there as long as they are needed. Please keep them in your prayers, because obviously that's a lot of very dangerous work, but they were raring to go to go down there and help. So we've got some great folks here that want to go and help our neighbors. I think that is about it. Cleanup efforts now begin. If any of you have any questions, please go right ahead and ask them.
Is there anything about Public Works that we need to know?
I think it's all the same information as earlier today, Jim. That cadence of cleanup, continues, and we'll look at anything new that comes up. But they're going to keep their same hours they had planned.
Saw crews were out there today actually doing that, which was.
I know it's very early to tell, but is there an idea of how much of the damage, even though it's a minor impact in Jacksonville, how much the damage and money would be?
I don't think we know that yet. We're going to be doing an analysis of that in the coming. I think there's an assessment coming up in the next week or so, so we'll be able to tell. But right now we're like I said, we consider ourselves very, very fortunate, whatever it ends up being, that we certainly missed the brunt of this storm.
Mayor, you've covered from this side. You've been over on this side covering storms, and now you're on that side. What's the difference? What did you learn from this?
Well, listen, it's a whole different deal when you have the responsibility of everybody's safety on your shoulders. And fortunately for me, I have the best people that we could possibly have on this team that are making decisions and making those decisions for me easier. But they're never easy. So it's a whole lot of difference between standing out in the middle of the storm, talking about it, and knowing that you have the responsibility of making sure everybody's safe. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Anybody else? All right, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and please stay safe.